So we've been going back and forth about whether or not we want to do this for the show.
And I never got around to it.
Well, here's the thing. I was going to watch it anyway because it's a show Ashley and I watch together.
That's what I was kind of thinking. There's not much out, although Echo's coming out pretty soon, so we'll be able to have that.
I mean, the first 3 episodes are out. By the time this goes live...
I've just been working a lot. I didn't realize that like the 4 or 5 days leading up to Christmas, I'm working like 2 shifts every day.
Tis the season, man. So I mean, I can... Because you had some weird feelings about Reacher.
So, I started watching...
you liked the first season.
I started watching Reacher, and I really liked it, and we talked about this on the show. I liked how the character, the guy that they got to play him, is more like the character the way he's written, even though I've never read the books. But I know that about the character. He's a big motherfucker, And there were just... The final fight in the warehouse was very CGI'd, and that kind of turned me off a little bit. But then just the body count in the first season was like, Jesus Christ already. You got to stop this at some point. It's just too much. I just was not able to suspend my disbelief as much as I wanted to. And in hindsight, after finishing the first season, I don't really want to watch the second season because guess why? I saw the trailer. What are you doing?
I'm holding court. This is going to be the serial debate all over again because I like this show a lot, and I will not have it.
You saw the trailer. You saw the trailer, and we're like, I can't wait.
Yeah,
to see some more.
And I've watched this. I've watched all 3 episodes that are up on Amazon Prime.
And I just don't think I could get back into it.
You're such a hypocrite.
Why?
You are such a hypocrite.
Why?
Because you can watch movies like freaking RoboCop and Commando with all this over-the-top crazy violence. But this show, you can't suspend your disbelief.
Uh-huh. And are all those movies trying to go for realism like this show is? No. Those movies are entertainment. This is also entertainment, but
I'm sure that
they are trying to be real. I don't know. I've never read the books.
Okay, Die Hard. We've been doing Die Hard December.
Die Hard? What about Die Hard?
It's like Die Hard. He keeps getting beat up. Like he wins every fight, but he does get into scraps where he doesn't always win. But think about it.
There's just a part of me that
it's Die Hard in a small town.
Another small town? Or does he go to Chicago?
Excuse me. This one's taking place in New York.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? I'll give it a shot.
Sorry, it's not Die Hard, but it is like, to me, it's a kind of a throwback to those kind of movies, but also having like a little modern spin on it. And I've never read the Reacher books, but based on what I've heard, like it is pretty good, close to the books.
Yeah.
But it was interesting because similar to the movie, how they did it was they made. The first season is like the 5th or 6th book.
Yeah.
I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
And similar to how they did it with the movie. But like so this season is like, I keep saying like, this season is supposed to be the 1st or 2nd book. And so it dives more into his backstory. And this one is focused, because it's because remember he says he's a military police in the first season. So in this season, they talk about the special investigators.
I know that. I saw the trailer. I saw it.
Yeah, so you know that the murder is related to that, the 1/10. And I'll be honest, I really dig this season.
I like the actor who plays him.
Alan Richardson. Did you see the Twitter thing about like people saying that he should be the new Batman in the DCU?
And we talked about this.
He's too big.
Yes.
He would be a kick-ass Bane. Like he'd be I'd love to see him as Bane. Yeah. But
did you watch the honest trailers?
Actually,
for
no.
The Flash?
Bane should be Hispanic because I want. They've never done the like luchador Bane, and I want the luchador Bane. But if they do like they did with Tom Hardy, I wouldn't mind seeing it.
Have you ever seen
Mr. Freeze? Make him a big buff Mr. Freeze.
The honest trailers for the Flash movie?
No,
it's fucking great.
But anyway,
they do a thing. They do a thing where like, and Michael Keaton shows up and phones in everything, and they show all of his scenes, and it's like, huh, he totally fucking did. Like, let's get nuts.
Yeah, I'm Batman.
Yeah, I'm Batman. What? What do you want?
I'm here.
Are we done yet?
Anyway, back to Reacher. No, I think it was. I really liked that first season, and I think it's kind of got this interesting formula that I'm sure is in the books, but it's almost like it is such an anthology that it's just really Reacher and
Godspeed,
Sorry, I was trying to turn my phone off. But it's about
Godspeed, Spud.
This is such a shitty review. So I'm just finding out that because I keep stalling because something keeps fucking up and distracting me. So, I just found that the formula is interesting in the first season of this season. It is about the ensemble, even though it's his show.
Right? Yeah.
It's about the team or the people that he works with on the case.
Yep.
And it's interesting because you get to see his past, and you get to it's him. And this isn't spoiling anything. It's 4 members of the battalion are together going through this story. And I'm really digging it, man. I am.
Well, I'm glad you like it.
I think it's worth trying to give at least this season a shot.
I'll give it a shot.
But this is how...
The next time I get
a
second of free time.
But here's the thing. How the character is structured and how these seasons work, they're kind of almost like anthologies.
Yeah,
like, I feel,
and I love Fargo. That's an anthology
after watching
series.
3 episodes. Yeah, the one constant is Reacher.
Yeah,
and yes, it is tied to his past, and the one person that he talks to is the private investigator that's in the first season. Like, she's the one who calls him about the case. So like, that's really the only connecting thread. They mention the first season. Like Margrave, she's like, how long has it been since Margrave? And he's like, 2 years and 6 months and so many days or whatever. So like, we're clearly indicating that yes, everybody looks a little bit older because 2 years has passed since that first season. So yeah, I dig it. I do understand what you're saying about how most of the time the show.
No, you don't.
No, I do. I do get it. That
I'm all just no, you don't.
I do understand that
You don't
perspective where
understand.
it is kind of crazy sometimes how this show is in realism, but then there's this shootout scene because it happens a few times. Oh, there's some ridiculous thing that Jack Reacher does where I'm like, I'm not sure that's physically possible.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spoil anything, but it is him walking up to a car, kicking the grill of the car so hard that the airbag deploys. And I'm like, I don't think that
I
could
can see that.
I don't know if that could really happen. But then I look at how big that motherfucker is, and I'm like,
well, you just have to apply the proper
dude.
pounds
He's
of
even somehow
force per inch,
more
pressure per inch.
physically impressive in this season than he was in the first
Well, he's
season.
been working out.
Like, he is cut and he is huge, and like seeing him, you kind of believe it based on his size. Because as I was saying, I'm like, well, he is pretty huge. he's
ginormous.
He's huge, but there is an episode where his shirt's off because he's, got a cut. He's cleaning a wound. And he's got his shirt off, and he's just cut. And I'm just like, how many scenes do
I
you...
feel so bad about myself.
And my wife's watching it with me, and I'm like, how many scenes do you think he has in his contract that he has to be shirtless? Like, I worked hard on these abs, and you're going to look at them. I don't know why my voice got deeper.
You're going to look
But see, that's what I mean, where I feel like this show sometimes is kind of a throwback to those like 80s and 90s action movies of like,
which I'm cool with,
but it does.
You kind of can't have it both ways. You can't be like, we're gonna shoot for realism, but then we're also gonna have superhuman feats of like excellence and like,
come on, have fun with it.
Whatever. Let's move on. I'll give it a chance sometime.
Don't be
I'm glad
Grinch.
you like it. Let's move on.
Christmas came early in my house. New episode of Jack Reacher.
There's a new episode of Fargo today.
Actually, by the time this goes live, it's episode 4 for Reacher.
Well, big fucking deal. Sorry.
Big fracking whoop.
Big fucking whoop. Hey, I'm Marky Mark. Hey, you bet the Funky Bunch?
Have you had my brother's baggies? Hey, wall baggies? Anyway, speaking of Mark Wahlberg, Warner Brothers.
Speaking of brothers that suck, Warner Brothers. That's going to the fucking Hall of Fame for fucking segues.
We will
dude.
never, ever in a million years get hired by that company for anything. Ever.
That was great. Speaking of
We got
brothers.
this great script and pitch.
Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.